Hello everybody, welcome to Real and Virtual Outdoors. On today's episode, we're at Lake Lewisville at Stewart Creek Park and the Colony. We're going to do some crappie fishing today. We're going to talk about the jigs and how I like to work my jigs and hopefully get a few fish on camera for you today. We'll be back with you in a little while. Okay, we're on the dock now. We're going to open up with some hand-tied crappie jigs. This jig comes from Lewisville TX Station. You can find these jigs on his Facebook page at Panfish Station Jigs and Flies. I'm going to start out with this purple chartreuse. My wife's going to show that to you now, and then we're going to get into the fishing part of it, how I like to work the jigs, and then we're going to hopefully catch a few fish. Okay, everybody, I decided to do a voiceover. The wind noise was extremely bad, and I wanted you to hear what I was talking about because I was giving some really good tips in this video. Right here, I'm talking about how I'm working the jig, and right here, I'm dead sticking. We over jig. We worked our jigs too much sometimes. Sometimes the crappie just want a subtle presentation, and I'm just pretty much holding that still and letting that tail do the work. Feather tails, especially when you're jig fishing, you don't need a lot of movement to get that tail to vibrating and twitching in the water. So remember that if you're not catching anything, slow down. Try not to get too wild with how much you're jigging. Less is more sometimes. Okay, so the next little method I'm going to show you here is what I call raising. It's a very effective method for me. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start raising the rod tip extremely slowly and jigging as I come up. The water is about 10 feet deep right here. And by using this technique, you're fishing different depths. You know, I'll raise it up 4 feet and then I let it go back down. You do not want to do what I'm about to illustrate here when using this technique. Don't do that. Don't just drop the rod tip. When you come back down, jig back down, lowering it and jigging on the way down. If you drop that rod tip, a lot of times those fish will hit that on the way down and you'll never know you got a bite. It's pretty much like fishing with a slab for sand bass. You don't want to just drop the line and let it free fall without keeping contact with your jig. That's very important to remember. And I'm kind of just right here, wife's doing a little footage shooting. She done a fabulous job first time she run the camera, and she's just kind of getting some shots of me. I'm kind of working the corners and kind of work different presentations. Right here you can see I'm kind of just holding that, just twitching it, just twitching it, keeping it in place. I'm trying different techniques and methods to get a fish to hit. We didn't catch any fish today. The wind was out of the north, and first time we fished here, but we did get a hit. And I used a couple of different jigs, a couple of tied jigs. I started out with purple and chartreuse made by Mr. Lyle Stokes from Panfish Nation. And I fished black and pink and white and a few other colors. And right here you can see I'm just kind of jigging along, working slow. The bite was slow, so I'm working slow, trying to get a fish enticed to hit. You'll notice how I'm holding that rod. I've been holding that rod with 2 fingers like that for years, and I've never lost a rod. I've been jig fishing the same way for 30 years. So old left hand's pretty strong. If I get a good one on, I can get him out without losing a rod. I don't think I've ever lost one jig fishing. You just see I'm kind of taking my time and thoroughly working the water and kind of keep my eye on what I'm doing and on my rod tip. A lot of times you'll see those fish hit, that line will twitch and you won't even feel it. So be a line watcher. That's always a good tip. Okay, right here I'm going to illustrate another technique that I like to use, and this is just basically where I'm just swimming the jig. I'm not really going up and down a whole lot. I'm not giving it a lot of jig action, but I'm just kind of swimming it from side to side. A lot of times this is the way the fish want it worked. It looks natural to them, and I'm just kind of moving that along. And what I like to do with that, I like to just move my chair about 4 or 5 inches like I'm doing here, and just let that jig follow, holding the rod tip still. Take a step to the right or left and just keep your hand still. Let that jig follow as you walk. That's an effective method. I've been fishing close to the dock and out in the sunlight, and the water was muddy today, and visibility on the jigs was only about 6 to 8 inches, so it was extremely muddy. We're going to talk about that here. In the last clip of the video, I did not do a voiceover on that. Some of it's voiced over, some of it's not, depending on how you can hear. I just didn't want a bunch of wind-blown noise for you guys. I'm just talking to you about how I'm working the jig and talking to you about what I'm doing there. I used some fish attractant on this trip. Smelly Jelly is a good one to use. Comes highly recommended by SK's Crappie Catching Adventures. He uses it religiously. I bought the garlic. I always had good luck with garlic. I've had good luck with Bang Spray. I think he uses shad and garlic. So right here in this next little clip coming up, I'll be fishing the same spot I am right here, and I'm gonna talk to you about what I'm doing right here. When you're fishing these type of docks, you need to be looking for things like I'm about to show you. The sun is on the front side of the dock, so the back side is shaded. And there's going to be a little lip sticking out about 2 to 3 foot on where they put the dock together and the railing. And it's kind of created a little point, if you would, or a shaded area when the sun's in a certain direction. And she's going to kind of show you that. Right here in front of this lip is really shaded right here. And I'm working the jig up in the shade or right in between the shade and the sunlight where the sun's coming in. Those crappies like to get up in the dark, and they'll look back into the light to ambush bait fish as they come by. Okay, everybody. I want to talk to you about one of the things here. The setup I'm using. This is a 5-foot double-up rod. It's a $15 rod with Bass Pro Shops. I like spin cast. 202 is plenty big enough to fish crappie. You just need a line holder, especially when you're fishing in water that's shallower. You really don't need expensive gear. I'm fishing basically the 1/16 ounce jig head today. I've used some Tide jigs and some tubes. The wind's out of the north, and the water's muddy. We've got some mud flowing in off the bank over there. Kind of got the water all colored today. That's not helping conditions. I've talked to some of the local folks. They're telling me they do catch crappie out here, and talk to your neighbors, talk to your fellow fishermen. This first time I've been here, you learn a little bit from them as you get to know your neighbors. We're about ready to wrap this up today and try it again another day. But I'd like to point out one more thing to you. When the sun is high, try to fish close to the edge of the dock where it's shaded. that's where your fish is going to be laying, especially in the hotter temperatures. That's where they're going to be, and that's where you need to be fishing. Thank you for viewing the video. Please subscribe to Real and Virtual Outdoors, and hit that thumbs up and that notification bell. There's going to be some more fishing videos coming. This is just the beginning, and next time we come here, we may do a little channel catching. God bless you and have a good day.